Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, good morning. Welcome to another market open stream. And we are starting out the new week. Bitcoin's Uptober comeback begins. Yes, that's right. We are in the second week of October. So let's see what's going to happen this week. Bitcoin is a little bit higher. We're moving past last week, which wasn't very good. So let's see what's going to happen this week. And we got a lot of things to talk about. So let's get started. All right, let's do it. Welcome, 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 guys. Good morning. Bitcoin is starting out at 63,000. That's not bad. Although last night, or actually a little bit before, or a little bit after my Sunday walk video, we hit 64,000. We had a little jump right afterwards, right? And then when this morning came back down, but still 63,000 is not a bad place to start out the week. The U.S. market is looking red today for really no apparent reason, and we could flip back into the green today, although I do see oil jump 2%. That's never good. That's because of the ongoing war situation in the Middle East. $76 per barrel. That's quite higher than what was, I guess, in prior weeks, right? Whenever oil goes up, that's never a good thing. And we know that whenever oil does go up, inflation goes up, and that's never a good thing. No one wants to see that. So that's an ongoing thing. We really can't predict that. We don't know how high oil is going to get. We have seen it go as high as 110, 115 in previous times. Hopefully that doesn't happen. That would be very, very bad. It's just getting started now. So I guess that's still an ongoing situation. We just don't know. As for the U.S., we do have several big things happening. FOMC minutes, that's coming up Wednesday. Inflation reading, I mentioned this in my Sunday walk video yesterday. I think that's going to be pretty big. Inflation reading, two of them, CPI and PPI, Thursday and Friday. Wednesday's FOMC meeting, I'm not so sure. Unless something big comes out of there. Sometimes you get surprises. I don't know, like sometimes, maybe. But generally speaking, it's just a recap of what was said in the last FOMC meeting. But maybe there's like a little surprise in there that says that they're more willing to do a 50 basis point cut in the next one too, or something like that. I don't know. But inflation readings are important, so that hopefully they're down. Hopefully we're not, they're not artificially inflated due to the oil situation or the strikes or anything. I don't think so, because those are too recent. And consumer sentiment is always important too. But as of right now, this was a big jump because we were at like 30 or 40% still up until last week. 40% chance to get a 50 basis point cut for our next FOMC meeting. Now that has changed to, man, 84%. Is that right? That is enormous. 84% chance. Am I reading that correctly? We jumped from 40 to 84% chance. Now there's only a 15% chance, or is that a 25 basis point cut? I'm getting quite confused. I think we're down to 4.7. No, I think that's a 25 basis point cut. That's a 25 basis point cut. I think the 50 basis point cut is off the table now. So yeah, because we were at 5.25 down to 4.75. So we're at 4.75. And now this is saying that we're going to get basically a 25 basis point cut 84% chance. So now I think 50 basis point is off the table. So we went from a 40% chance of a 50 basis point to a 0% chance. And now we have increased. I guess I don't know what's changed. I think the biggest thing is the jobs numbers from last week. The jobs numbers were so good that it removed that 50 basis point altogether, which is not good. Not, you know, I was looking forward to another 50 basis point cut, but hey, if we get 25 basis point, that's fine. Hopefully, what we don't want to see is like inflation ticking upwards. That would kind of just like, if we saw that, then this number is going to go down even more. And then the 15.9%, which is cut off that you don't see, will actually go up. That's what we don't want to see, right? But anyways, just to show you guys. All right, so those economic data will be somewhat important in terms of affecting this. We still have a month to go, guys. We still got a month to go. So there are a lot of factors that can still change this. So it's still very early. All right, as for the rest of Uptober, right? Like I said, it's still early. We only got through the first week. So can we still turn things around? Of course. Of course, right? We could turn things around the very last week. We could have 3 bearish weeks and bad weeks and just turn around the final week. Okay? There's always a chance. But what's happening right now is, and let me show you, what's happening right now is the whales are loading up. Reserves dropping like a rock. Okay, exchange reserves, just look at it, dropping like a rock, and it just keeps on going. It does not stop. According to this, we're basically back to 2019 levels, early 2019 levels. I mean, there are some charts that show we're like back to 2017 levels. I guess it just depends on which charts you look at, but basically the reserves, just know that exchange reserves are dropping. Okay, no matter which chart you're looking at from which company, they're all showing that reserves since 2022 have been dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. There's no doubt about it. And why are the reserves dropping, right? Because of the giant big whales they are buying. Okay. Of course, you got MicroStrategy. Now you have BlackRock. So the realized cap for the new whales, you could see, have jumped dramatically since 2024. That's a big, big, big jump in 2024. It's almost equal to our to like an inflation chart, or equal to like, I don't know, the M2 money supply chart when the governments around the world started printing a whole lot of money. That's what it looks like. I mean, it's staggering how much Bitcoin the whales started purchasing, right? Again, look at this. New whales versus old whales. Okay, within just a year, probably what, 33, the new whales purchased about 33% as much Bitcoin as all previous old whales have purchased, if not more. I mean, it's just staggering. And that's because of the institutions, because of BlackRock and Fidelity and everyone else that started offering ETFs. And not only did they buy, but all the other institutions started buying, all the other funds and companies. And, you know, basically they have so much money and they're coming in at such a staggering pace. And most people don't realize that. And then look at the addresses too. Look at how high this is, how fast this is moving, right? And look at this. And what's really relevant is back here. Look at this. Look at that huge jump in October, right? The whole year it's been going up, but look at this big jump for whale addresses just in October alone. That big jump right there, right? That's telling you something. The whales are loading up. They are loading up. So unfortunately, while retail investors are panicking and while retail investors are losing interest and while they are leaving, you know, this is the time where all the big boys are coming in and just really eating up all the supply right now. That's exactly what they're doing behind the scenes. And a lot of retail investors may be wondering, well, if that's the case, why is the price not going up, right? Because they're doing it secretly. There are many ways to do it. OTC is a great way to do it. Another way to do it is just to spread out the buys. Another way to do it is to control and manipulate the market, cause it to go down, and buy when things are low. I mean, these guys, they have controlled Wall Street for decades, so they know what they're doing. There's many ways to do it, okay? There's many, many ways for them to do it. They are among the smartest in the industry. So they are accumulating because now they realize that Bitcoin is the future. So that's exactly what's happening, right? So this is why I'm so bullish on Bitcoin, because this is going to be the only, or not the only, this is going to be the first cycle we go through. You could argue, and it is, the first cycle we go through where there will be true institutional FOMO. It's already happening, but there is so much money that will be flowing in from the institutions. It'll be unlike anything we have ever seen. No previous cycles, no previous tops did we have institutional FOMO. It was all retail. Every single cycle we had before, 2021 and 2017 and 2013, they were all retail FOMO. Now we're going to have true in 2025, if that is the top. If we don't have a super cycle and we just keep on going, if 2025 we have that top and we have institutional FOMO, man, the sky's the limit, because these guys have billions and trillions that they could be putting in, and it's going to be unlike anything we have ever seen. I mean, we can only make predictions, but these guys, they just have so much money. And here's the thing, and the reality of a super cycle, a lot of people theorize and talk about it. It could be a reality because, hey, all these big whales and institutions that have bought in, are they really going to be like retail investors and time it like, oh, okay, it's the end of 2025, let's all dump it? If they're holding so much of the supply and they continue to hold it, who's going to be dumping it? So we can have a super cycle where we continue on. We just hold and continue on forever. We might not have crypto winter ever again. We could have volatilities. We could still have the 20 or 30% dips. But we may not have that 85% dip like before ever again. We could just continue on forever and just have super cycles. That could be very well the new reality, right? So, bottom line is, grab your Bitcoin, grab your cheap sats while you can. Jack Dorsey bought 5,000 Bitcoin, put it on Square's balance sheet 4 years ago. Today, it's worth $500 million, and he's been buying more and more and more. I'd say that's pretty good. Pretty good strategy so far. People that have implemented the Bitcoin strategy has been DCAing. It's been working. It's been working. Even though it seems like it's so slow, Bitcoin's so slow and it doesn't go anywhere and it's too big and the returns are too little. No, those are not true. Bitcoin still gives great returns, and you just have to have patience. That's why there are so many new people coming in doing it. Metaplanet's doing it, even though some people make fun of them, like, oh, so little, right? But they're DCAing every single month. Their holdings now 40.5 million. In a year or 2 or 5, that 40 million will become 400 million. And it won't seem so little anymore, right? Everyone starts out somewhere. When Metaplanet's holdings turn from 40 million to 400 million, no one's going to be laughing anymore. And that will come one day. And it's probably come sooner than expected. And here's something else, too. We in Bitcoin, we live in the moment. So whenever we get like a bad week, like everyone freaks out, right? Other than me. I'm just kidding. A lot of you guys don't freak out. But a lot of people do. But here's the thing. Even with like last week's bad week or whatever, and all the volatility that we had, the year-to-date return on Bitcoin compared to everything, all other industries out there, Bitcoin is still number one for year-to-date return. I mean, that's how funny it is, right? Like, people talk about, like, you got a lot of people talk about, you got to put all your money in real estate, or you got to put all your money in gold, or put it into equities, put it into some kind of equities, or go buy some bonds. Hey, how about let's buy some treasuries? Like, you got all these people telling you there's all these different kind of investments, but none of them outperforms Bitcoin. Not one. Maybe individual stocks, like if you put into Nvidia or something, maybe. But if you're looking at a sector, none has outperformed Bitcoin, right? So that's the thing. So this is why it's never too late to go into Bitcoin. It's never too late. Now, for those of you guys that are gold bugs, and gold has been doing very well recently, but still below 3,000, and it's taken how many years to get to this point? Let's not focus on that. But if you're focusing on Bitcoin versus gold, we are going through a similar pattern right now. And if we're going to follow it, then, then it's looking pretty good for Bitcoin. Although Bitcoin, when it moves, it moves like 10x higher or 10x more than gold at this point, right? And here's the thing, what people don't realize about gold versus Bitcoin. Gold basically has no set supply, right? Sure, there's a set amount on the planet, but we don't know what that set amount is. There's always more gold that can be found or mined. It's highly manipulated because the gold miners can control how much is being dug, right? And the supply is highly manipulated, and basically it's being controlled by a few. That's just not how Bitcoin works. Bitcoin gets released at a certain rate. It gets cut in half every 4 years. That is predetermined by code, right? The network gets stronger because there's more and more miners. So it's not like controlled by a few. And there is a set supply. We know that. It's determined by code. That's why Bitcoin is so much better from an economic standpoint versus gold. It's just better. It's just better. And people argue, well, gold is physical. So if we have World War III or we have no electricity, gold is going to be worth so much more. You can't do anything with Bitcoin when there's no, when we're in an apocalypse. Well, if that's the case, bullets and guns and food and water will be worth a lot more. No one's going to want a gold bar when we have World War III in a post-nuclear world, okay? No one's going to care about your gold bar when people are starving to death and people are fighting over food, okay? Then ammunition will be the new currency. So that, that kind of scenario doesn't even make any sense, right? We're talking about just like as society now. So Bitcoin is just better. Bitcoin is just better. Okay, moving forward. Last few points. Yeah, so bull rally imminent. Looks like it. Looks like it. I mean, every single time. Looks like, looks like we stall for a little bit. We go down and then boom, we go back up, right? It looks like that. And the last thing I'll show you is this compared to last year. Last year we had the same thing. We had first week, bad week, first week of October. And it scared many people. And that was prior, sub 30,000. Right? We had a bad week. And then boom, we went up big. We had a bad week last week. Or we go break that and go boom, go back up. Maybe. It's looking pretty good so far. So, are we going to go back to our 66? Go back to 70? Are we going to see a new high this week? We're not that far off from our previous high. That's the thing. Sometimes it seems like it's so bearish, but we're not that far off from our previous high of 73,000. It could just be like a few days and we're right back up and make a new high. It's like, that's just how funny things are sometimes. So, stay strong, my friends. Uptober, still in play. It's still so early. It's definitely in play, and the comeback begins. All right. Last thing is Sui. Sui is just still so strong. Sui's chart 115% monthly gains. As the ecosystem meme coin rallies after USDC integration. Sui had a lot of things going on. I didn't even know USDC integration. They had a Grayscale Trust come out. Their TVL is exploding, all-time high for them, which is fantastic. Their transactions basically through the roof right now. So Sui, a lot of people have been asking about Sui. Why are they so strong? Are they the next Solana and all these things? It's too hard to tell right now, but they are doing very well. So good for them. I saw this UAE exempt crypto transactions from value-added tax. UAE is just trying to make it super pro crypto at this point. Applies retroactively from January 1st of 2018. Wow. That's like the bear market from 2 cycles ago. Interesting. All right. That's it. Let's see. The US market is still in the red. Nvidia's up. Coinbase. Ooh, look at MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy's up 5% today, while Coinbase is only up a little bit. Look at MicroStrategy is so damn strong. That's crazy. MicroStrategy is just like unstoppable at this point. Michael Saylor is going to be deemed a genius when it's all said and done. All right, let's do some Q&A. NMCT Love waking up to 200% gains for last week on a meme token. Congrats. Let's see. Aaron Ketchum. Fink said we shouldn't expect so many rate cuts. FUD, the powerful say we're at the beginning, at the top. This isn't looking good at bottom. I don't know what you're saying. I don't get the point, but we will have a lot of rate cuts. We probably shouldn't expect like the rates to go back to zero, but we will get many more rate cuts, that's for sure. All right. Executable. I loaded up on MicroStrategy back in the 130s. Congrats. Good call. Hey George, which best large SUV like the Escalade size? I mean, if you're looking for luxury, then Escalade, yeah. If you're not looking for luxury, I'd say like the Yukon or the um, the Tahoe. They're pretty good. Do you see a 6-month bull flag forming? Breakout. I've shown many charts like that, like a giant bull flag or a giant cup and handle. I've seen those before, and yes, I mean if you look at it, this is a giant cup and handle right here, right? This is a cup, this is a handle, and if we break out, we go break out. And this is also a giant flag right here. I mean, it depends on how you want to look at it. For you guys that wants to, how do I draw? Right? So you could see this is like a giant flag, so it could break out, or I don't know how to draw a U shape for you guys, but you can yeah, I don't know how to draw a U shape. You know, or you can use your imagination. Like that's a cup, and then that's a handle. Is there a curve line here? There's no curve line. I don't see a curve. Path. Oh, curve. Here we go. There we go. Nice. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that looks good. Good to see some excitement once again. You know, that's the funny thing. Like, I try to make this argument. We're not that far off from all-time high. We're only 10,000 point from all-time high, which isn't that far off. Sometimes the sentiment is so bearish. It seems like we're like 50,000 point from all-time high. We're not. We're only 10,000 points. So that's less than 20%. That's like 15%. We can have that. We could do that in like 2 days. We could do that in 1 day theoretically. In a bull market, 10%, 15% in 1 day. That's very easily done. Man, MicroStrategy is like going crazy right now. Supreme Court rejects Martin Kelly's fine appeal. This guy is still like scamming people left and right in crypto right now. He's doing a lot of rugs in crypto, and somehow he's still able to do it. I would like to see him in the IFC. Yeah, I think we could flip into the green today. Coinbase is getting in the mix, 2%. Memes are heating up, precursor for bull run. Yeah, I've noticed, you know, yesterday I was looking at like the top 24-hour gangs, all memes pretty much. Mog, Whiff, Pepe, Brett. A lot of these are 7-Day, Popcat. Memes are going like be crazy this cycle. $30 near. Yeah, I could do it. $30. You could do $30. Joseph, MicroStrategy is still not back to high this earlier this year. 2000 pre 10-to-1 split. I jumped in at 390. I think smaller caps should have further to run. MicroStrategy needs 270 billion to do 10x, where small cap needs 2 billion 10x can. Sure. I know you keep debating that you think miners are going to do better. I just don't agree. I just don't agree. Dusk, what's up? Lawnmower, I snubbed memes last cycle, won't make the mistake again. I'm only keen on top tier memes, not the ruggers. Lawnmower, I was the same way. I snubbed Sheeb last cycle. Um, and that was kind of a mistake. I could have made a good amount on Sheeb last cycle, but I'm like, nah, I don't want anything to do with memes. Um, that kind of sucked. HNT has garnered more attention recently and is tipped to perform really well, being Solana and DPIN. Do you agree? Sure. Sure, I agree. Did you see you could buy VV collectibles with Ecomi token that is on the base layer? Omar, that has always been the case, but I think they're gonna have a hell of a time coming back. NFTs are just not popular. That's looking good. Will a coin like MAGA pump or crash, you think? I mean, it's like a meme coin for Trump. It could, but it's not backed by Trump. It's just like another meme. It just really depends on if some pump group is trying to pump it or not. Man, Sui's up like 9% right now. Sui's just not stopping. Nier is also doing well, 5% coming up in a big way. Sol needs Sol to keep going. Who else is doing really well today? MicroStrategy. Man, look at that jump from MicroStrategy. That's crazy. Fed is doing pretty well too, 3%. I don't know what happened to MicroStrategy today. Like, I don't. People just like bullish on Bitcoin. When Wall Street is bullish on Bitcoin, they go to MicroStrategy first. I'm telling you guys, MicroStrategy, if if you're an equities guy, um, MicroStrategy is a great like leverage play on Bitcoin. They move. They move faster in Bitcoin. It's the only stock that outperforms Bitcoin. If you go back all the way to 2020, which is amazing. You go back 4 years, it's the only thing that has outperformed Bitcoin. That's funny, Dustin. That's funny. A little too early for those kind of jokes. Man, it's up 7%. MicroStrategy up 7%. I have some of their stocks, but I have no options on them. 7% on MicroStrategy is kind of nuts for this early in the day. That means Wall Street is super, super bullish on them. I don't know what's going on with them. That's nuts. That means Bitcoin is like, I, I think Bitcoin's going to do something crazy today. If this is a precursor of what's to come for Bitcoin, That means Bitcoin's go shatter like 66, 67 today. It's looking good, guys. My leverage plays are finally coming up again. I got absolutely wrecked last week from my leverage plays, but now some of these are starting to come up. Just barely though. I gotta zoom out a little bit. We've been having a hard time staying above this 63.8 mark. This red line. If we can stay above it, utilize it as support, that would be very, very encouraging. We need to do that. Today, what's most fascinating to me is MicroStrategy up 7.5% right now. That has to mean something. So Bitcoin's only up 1.6% today. So if Bitcoin follows and has a 7% day today, man, that would be absolutely fantastic. If Bitcoin has a 7%, we're like talking about like 7,000 today if it goes up that much. I don't know what it is. Someone's buying. Someone's buying for sure. Uptober, just like last year, we went down the first week. Uptober started, first big drastic drop first week, and then boom. Second week, look at it. We went from 26,000 all the way up to 34,000, 35,000 in the third week. If we repeat the same pattern, we're going to shatter our previous high in the next 2 weeks. Oh man, we're still going, guys. We are still going. All right. So if we're looking at this giant, if I'm drawing this better here. Yeah, I think I drew that pretty well. Yeah. So that giant flag pattern, we would have to break around right here, 65.8. We break about 65.8. That's when we clear the flag. About 66. We break 66. That's where we clear this flag. That's what it looks like. Let me just remove that. That's when it's blast off zone. I mean, again, our previous high is just like up here. We're not that far off. We're really not that far off. I mean, let me just draw a line. Our previous high was up here. I mean, come on. Like from here to here, it's really not that. If we break through this, boom, right back up here. And then the sky's limit. Well, MicroStrategy is cooling off a little bit. 7.2. What is MicroStrategy's high? So MicroStrategy's high is right up here, 200. Right there. MicroStrategy broke its high, its local high here from July. So it's pretty close. Is that the all-time high for MicroStrategy? Let's go weekly. No. Wow. What happened here in a dot-com bubble? MicroStrategy was here 3 something. Man, that's how crazy dot-com bubble was. MicroStrategy once upon a time was at $333. That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna put a 1 there. That's crazy. That's how insane the dot-com bubble was. $64K. Yeah, MicroStrategy was definitely a precursor of what's to come today. Yeah, that next bubble, what happened with MicroStrategy in 2000? You know, if that happens this time with Bitcoin, man, the sky's the limit. Dustin, thank you. Joseph, could MicroStrategy pump be reaction to windfall from Dubai announcement? Haven't sold, just trying to figure out the big mover. Last cycle was Riot 5,000. I don't know actually what Dubai announcement. Yeah, I can't think of a Dubai announcement. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I get what you're trying to do. You know, you want to pick the small gems, right? That's the same reason why people go with small cap alts. Um, I get it. You know, like MicroStrategy is probably not gonna give you 100x at this point. Um, Kind of like, you know, Bitcoin. Not for a while at least, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just not too bullish on the miners because the miners are they will cannibalize each other, and the gains so far at least at this point, versus MicroStrategy, to me, just have not done as well. But then again, I haven't done enough research into them. Who knows? Who knows? What I do know is Bitcoin continues to go up, up and up and up and up right now. 64.2. A MicroStrategy is still up 7.8% at 190. It's $10 away from its previous high of this year, let's just say. Yeah, today's going to be a good day, guys. It's just not stopping. Today's just like a really good day all around. Near is up 6%, close to 6%. Sui's up about 11% today. Sol's back above to 150. And Stacks is kind of trailing. Stacks is surprising. I don't know what happened. Stacks used to be a multiplier of Bitcoin, but you could see they fell off since $2. Not anywhere close to it, but maybe they'll catch up today. So I don't know what happened to Stacks. Maybe they were overbought. Coinbase still not as high as MicroStrategy right now. Man. Bitcoin is not stopping. Okay, if Bitcoin breaks through the 65.8 mark today, then watch out. If Bitcoin's your number one, Sol's your number two, what's your 3 to 5? Oh man, it's still going up, guys. Doesn't look like it's going to stop. This is a good question. 3 to 5. I do like Avalanche. I don't know. I just like them. I think they're going to have a really good shot with their gaming. I do like, you know, I do like I feel like I need some exposure to AI, so I do think like Fed is in there. Some of these big caps, you know, I don't have a problem with like Near or Render. You know, I think they could be in there. I don't know if it's like has to be in my top 5, but two others that I really do like is Stacks and Jupiter, because I think their plays on Sol and Bitcoin. And then, you know, I do like memes too. I throw some memes in there. Oh man. Jesus. MicroStrategy up 8.5% right now. If MicroStrategy breaks their April high, I mean, if they break it, that means Bitcoin's go break through its April high too soon. MicroStrategy will just do it first, but it's just that means Bitcoin's go follow right afterwards. I mean, just think about it. Injective 40 billion market cap. I think that could be possible. Oh, 40 billion from 2 billion? No, that's too much. That's too much. Maybe 20 billion. I'd say anywhere from 10 to 20 billion. 40 billion is too much. Why did that just turn? right, cooling down a little bit, but SUI is still not cooling down. 13%, it's just nuts. All right, on the 1 hour chart, just to warn you guys, the 1 hour RSI is really overheated for MicroStrategy. For Bitcoin's not overheated. MicroStrategy is overheated. 15 minutes, a little bit overheated. 4 hour, getting up there. Daily, plenty of room. It's good to see people excited once again. And here's the thing. This is really nothing. Some of you guys remember what 2021 was like, and some of you guys remember what 2017 was like. When, you know, I've said this, when we're in full-blown, like, parabolic bull season, or a full-blown altcoin season, and you wake up and your portfolio's up 10, 15, 20% every single day, and you feel dirty, that's when it's crazy. That's when things get really exciting. So much so you feel dirty because it feels so wrong in terms of how much you're making. This is nothing. Nothing compared to what's coming. So this is why I tell you guys to stay strong, stay focused, just DCA. Don't get distracted by the volatility. Great things are coming. Have you considered using a green screen so we can see more behind you? No. What more do you want to see behind me? Oh, you mean on the screen? There's nothing under there. All right, I'm going to head out, guys. I know it's exciting, and actually the number of people watching is going up. I should just like leave it as a 24-hour stream, like those, like iShowSpeed and stuff, where he just like streams himself walking around and doing nothing, and the view count just keeps going up. No, I'm not gonna be doing that. All right, guys. Have a good one. I will see you guys tonight. Let's see where Bitcoin is then. It could be phenomenal. Hopefully we're at 66,000 tonight once again. All right. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tonight. Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.